Yo, so trade recap, daily recap today, Friday, July 25th. Let's get into it. So, today, obviously, we were bullish. I said pre-market that I wanted to basically only look for longs unless I was given a really good reason to flip my bias, right? Because we were basically at all-time highs. And there's no reason to look to take shorts unless you were given a really strong reason. So what I have mapped out here coming into today on NQ is this price leg right here, this 1 hour wick. I mapped out the quadrants of this pre-market, and then I also mapped out the Fibonacci's from this low to this high, which is the current dealing range before market open, right? So what happened here? Why did I want to look for longs when we were down here, right? We retraced into this optimal trade entry / golden pocket area. We also tapped 50% of this 1 hour wick perfectly, right? When you were bullish, you want to see these, PD arrays being respected. So in this case, 50% was respected perfectly. As well as you could see the reaction here on the 4 hour. So let's scale down a little bit. Right, so another reason that I look to take longs today is we put in an SMT. First, we put one in right here, which I have marked out right here. And then we had another one right at market open, right? We had this as well. When on ES, we did not take out this low. Right? So we have two SMTs. ES was a stronger pair, but we had a really strong reaction on NASDAQ, so I was okay with taking longs on NASDAQ. So let's scale down even further. So at this point in time, I see the two SMTs, right? I see the two SMTs. I see the 50% of that hourly wick being respected. So I'm like, okay, I want longs. So 5 minute here, not seeing a whole lot, but on the 2 minute and the 1 minute is what I was looking for. So yes, I did map out the quadrants here because I just wanted to see what would happen, and we did have a reaction off equilibrium, which did confuse me a bit and wasn't exactly what I wanted to see. As you can see here, ES looks like a freaking barcode all the way up until like 10:07, but it did end up, getting better throughout the day. It was not the day to trade ES, in my opinion, but if you did, I hope it worked out. So let's get rid of this right here. So once we inverse this gap right here, right, and then we got this strong reaction off of it, I entered my longs basically like right here. Probably would have had my stop right about here, maybe a little tighter to be honest, because I wouldn't have held for 30-point stop. So let's say I used this 50% of this. Okay, first target was this high right at new day opening gap, right? So right about here, trimmed one. I actually entered 3 minis on my eval account. So right now I'm currently trading 5 top step 100k evals, and I also have my 3 150k alpha accounts, and I'm working to try and copy trade them both. So this is what I did. Second take profit was London highs, which is right here, right? About 2.3R on this. And then I also had one runner all the way up, to all-time highs. But I'm not gonna lie, I fumbled it. I just wanted to get off the charts. It was Friday, I had company. So I didn't leave this runner. I'm trying to think. When did I get stopped out? I believe it was like right around here. I said, you know what, I'm just going to get out. Even though my shit was at break even, and then I even moved my stop to 373. So at this point in time, this was my runner right here. This was it. This is what I had. Yeah, I could have just left and, let the trade play out, and this is something I need to get better at, and I know I said it yesterday too, just holding my trade, and I haven't been doing that super well. I don't really do that great in high resistance liquidity conditions, hence why I like to take a lot of size on a continuation setup for, low hanging fruit, because I know that's my, my strong point, and I know my weaknesses, and I do have to improve on them. Everybody has somewhere they can improve in their trading. Yeah, that's what ended up happening. As you can see, it didn't happen until like 12:15 almost. So, I just like to be able to close my charts and just let it rock. I don't like to just leave a position going. So, I did end up closing it early, which is unfortunate, but you live and you learn, right? Just got to be better. So, basically, today, you could have caught a couple opportunities to take longs. This was a really good little entry to take longs as well. This was way too late in the day, I assume, for most people. You could have taken the inverse right here at like 11. See, most people are off there too. So could have taken it in here, right? Longs in here once we inverse this gap into this high. But ideally, this was the entry, 2-minute inverse as well, right? We get this 2-minute inverse right here. We get the close. At this point, you want to be entering somewhere on either this candle or this candle as we're wicking lower, something like this, right? And then boom. I just felt like longs were so free today. And I did say in the Discord, I did say pre-market, long this shit to London high. So, I hope you guys caught this. It wasn't the cleanest of price action today, clearly. But this is what we're going to get a lot of times when we're at all-time highs. You're not going to get the cleanest moves. But you really just got to look for some sort of dip to try and long off of, right? You want to try and catch a reversal. As you can see here, double SMTs at London lows, 50% of the wick, respected perfectly. And then, listen, if you didn't catch any of those, this is a high probability fair value gap. Let me tell you guys something. If you guys want to know what fair value gaps are high probability, you want to look for ones that give us a reaction, but not just give us a reaction. Give us a reaction that takes out a low or a high. And even more strong, like a session low or session high. So for instance, like a major liquidity. We react off this imbalance, right? What happens? We deliver, we sweep London. Then again, we come back, we are rejecting it, boom, sweep it again, SMT. So what happens now when we get a good close above it? Now we should flip. So we close above, we retest. If you wanted to take it on the 5-minute, you could have limit right here, stops, I don't know, under here, or whatever you want to do, like this. The only thing is my first TP was here, but like I said, you could have just had it to London, 1.4R, and you could have had your runner all the way up here for 2.5R. But yeah, that's basically just a quick little lesson on what fair value gaps are high probability. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope everyone had a good trading week this week. I had a good week this week. I called out a lot of good stuff in the Discord. If you're not trading with me live every day, you honestly are just missing out, because I am calling everything I see out real time. Although I am not signaling and clicking the button in front of you, you can kind of have an understanding of where my thoughts are in the market and what I'm looking for in price. I do want to promote people learning how to trade. I don't want to promote signaling, because you're never going to learn. So I hope you guys found this insightful. I will catch you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Hope you all did well this week. Peace out.